you to get into sports media?
Well, so I always wanted to work in athletics. So I kind of started with just working any and everywhere. So back from undergrad to grad school to an intern, I've worked in facilities, tickets, marketing, stuff like that. But then I came across sports information, and at the time, I was just doing the stats, and I thought it was pretty cool at the end, like, I print out this box score, like I actually inputted this data. Sometimes, depending on what sport, you're a little bit a part of the game on certain calls.
Right.
So I thought that was cool, and I just kind of stuck with that field within the athletic program.
Cool. What was your dream career or other careers that you were interested in growing up?
I don't really know. So I know I'm good with numbers.
Yeah.
So, I was always thinking of anything, whether it's like finance or accounting or something like that, was what I initially thought. But me being naive, I thought like, man, they just spend time in the cubicle. I ain't trying to do that. That's boring,
Right.
So then I just got into sports, and I always played sports. I was good at sports. I'm a little vertically challenged, but I was good just naturally. And once I kind of messed stuff up myself and didn't continue on and play in college, I wanted to be around. So for me, it was more so anything to be in sports was the dream, I guess. And obviously, so I'm a Louisiana native, so, I got schools like LSU. I'm actually a big UT fan, so anything with, Texas or something like that, those would be probably the dream destinations. Probably now a little bit of Pac-12 type schools. I like the West Coast, stuff like that. So I think that's the dream job if I have one right now.
Cool. What is the typical day like for you?
It's pretty busy. It's random. Random in the sense of, I get time in the morning and I can do a lot of the things that I need to do. But then when people start coming, practices happening, stuff like that, a lot of people are asking to do a lot of different things. So a lot of the times my actual work that I need to do prep-wise has to be put on pause to do all the other stuff for other coaches, and there's multiple programs. So it is a lot of getting up and going around and talking to people, which that part I like. I like to talk to people and deal with people for the most part. So I do a lot of that, and then, that calls for the late evening sometimes and stuff to have to still prep, get ready for the game. And then just a lot of weekends. So it is a lot of time put in, and daily it could just kind of change, depends on the needs, what, you're kind of that support staff. So whatever you need to do to support, that's kind of the gaps you fill.
Okay. How do reporters usually gather questions to ask athletes?
The biggest thing, honestly, is just their own personal research. I mean, you got definitely, if you're talking like a post-game interview, you got numbers there. You got a game that you just observed, so it's easy to base questions off that. But, when you go off of midweek things and off-season type stuff, like, it's really just about researching yourself, trying to figure out if there's some kind of story there as far as just anything on and off the court and stuff like that. So the biggest part of it with being a reporter is kind of doing your own research and just figuring out like, oh, what's different about this person? Where's this person from? Oh, I wonder if they played with so-and-so or know so-and-so. And, when you get to ask those questions, then those answers spark different things to kind of let the interview flow and go on more.
All right, cool. Do you think COVID-19 has had any effect on sports media?
Yeah, I think so for sure. One of the downfalls, and it just depends on where each person at in life. One of the downfalls with this is it's a lot of travel. And unlike, obviously the athletes, even to a degree the coaching staff, although they do recruiting, I do this for multiple sports and multiple team sports. So in a normal year, I'm expected to travel with them,
Yeah.
and that could be like 8 out of the 12 months I'm on the road on the average of like every other weekend. But a family that gets kind of rough.
Yeah.
So what COVID has done though is shown like you really can get a lot of the stuff done without being there, just because everything is always streamed and stuff. Now there's some things you do miss, like locker room stuff and things like that. You'll miss that, but that's when you get in a whole different conversation on like the different schools and the large staffs, and because a lot of the things that I do here, I probably do like 2 or 3 jobs, where at like a Power 5, they got like individual departments filled with a number of people to do just that area. So I think it really, I don't want to say helped out, but it definitely like when it comes to travel and stuff, because everybody want to be safe and things like that. Okay, well, we're not gonna send you out as much, and then you still get the stuff done. You can still see clips of the game. You can still actually see the game and report the game, get quotes after the game. So it's kind of opened up to where it's like, okay, well, we might can save money by not pushing out so many people or media stuff to different things. Like we'll just virtual it, and that I think that's the biggest shift right now with everything.
Okay. Last one is, what ways do you think sports media has benefited athletes and the public?
Well, for sure, athletes wise, if taken advantage of the right way, I mean, it just gives them a better way to put their message out there and to reach more people. I mean, you start thinking about people like Ali and people back in those days where they had things that was reported and stuff, but it was probably so localized, like, you know, if they were there at that time, then whoever they're reporting to gets that information. But now it's like you can say one thing in your backyard, like the whole world can get to it and know and stuff. So, I mean, it's like a gift and a curse, because if you're not really taking care of it correctly, it could be bad because everybody can see it. But if you got a message out there and it's positive, it is definitely a way that, you know, they can reach more people, get behind different movements and stuff like that. So I think overall it's positive, but it also just depends on, you know, how each use it. And I know you said the athlete, what was the other one?
The public.
Yeah, I mean, the public, I would probably say the same. It's kind of a gift and a curse, but for the public, I'd probably say it's a little more of a curse. And I think it's a little bit more of a curse, though, for the people that's like the athletes, depending on what they're saying. Because it's just a bigger light and area for them to like jump on them and criticize and stuff like that. Positive, you get a little bit more access to the person. You get to know them a little bit more and realize that they aren't just about basketball or volleyball or whatever sport that they're playing. But it's like any false move, like that's a wrap. And that's a lot of stress to deal with, not only just for, you know, a veteran athlete, but just like young athlete. And I say veteran, like I'm talking decades and stuff, like professional. A lot of people who get into the leagues and stuff like that, you know, they're super young and they get in money like they never had, and it's like they want to have fun, and it's like, oh man, why would they do that? That's dumb. And now you get all of this criticism and stuff like that. So from the public side, I think it's a little bit more of a curse, because it just gives them easier access to judge and come to their own conclusions.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Keonte.